Hey, welcome back to Postie TV. So, last videos I did was the budget big bore build. That's been going great. It's going really well. A lot of fun. Getting some really good performance out of it. Now I've got two mates doing theirs as well. We'll have a few more getting around with the kit so we can test the reliability. They're probably going to do different carby setups, different things than what I've done. So we can see what happens. So be a bit of fun. That's mine there. So it's been going good. One of the things that has happened is change the oil, and the thread on the oil drain plug was always a bit dodgy. It's finally stripped. So I'm going to fix that. I've got a oversized bolt there. I'm going to tap it out and change it over. And I'll show you how to do that. I'll probably do a video on that one as well. So that's a good one if that happens to anyone else. Strip the bolt. You don't have to throw the engine away. Split the case, change it over. There is a fix. Can only do it a few times, but a couple of times, and then it's done. But yeah, that's also a good one. So I'm just doing a video. I just wanted to catch up with everyone, but I just wanted to do a couple of little things that I thought of when I was doing the big build kit, or the build. Things that I probably didn't put in there that will help you out if you're doing it. Little cheat ways of stuff that I do, so that yeah, you can make it easier for you, get a better result in the end of it. So I don't know what I'm going to call this one, probably performance parts or something like that. But if you watch it and you watch all the videos, you'll and if you're doing a big bore kit or you're thinking about it, this will help you. So I'm going to get the camera out. I'm going to put it on to the cylinder head there, bits and pieces, and we'll have a look at it. So I'll set the camera up and I'll be back. Okay, so this is our cylinder head here. This is an older head that I'm going to put on one of the big bores that I'm doing. This head did actually have a slight leak on the head gasket. So, and there's a bit of wear on this face here. So I'm just going to show you how I clean that up and I get it nice and flat again. So you can run a straight edge diagonally across it, a nice straight steel edge, and then I'll hold it up to the light and see if you can see any light come through. You know, it's not 100% accurate, but it will show you if there is a major issue. The other thing that I do is I hope you can still see that. So I got a standard sharpening stone. This is a normal sharpening stone for knives. You've got a coarser side and a smoother side. I don't know if you can see that. Let's clean that off, but that's a new one. It's nice and straight. Hasn't got any hollows from knives or anything like that. So it's fairly new. It's going to be nice and straight for us. So just a little bit of oil, a bit of cutting oil. I'll start on the smooth side. I've done this head already a bit, so this is more to show you how to do it rather than actually getting this one. So you got the block down nice and flat. And you can go in circle motions, figure eight. Really just make sure that this is held flat to the head and that's not moving, otherwise you'll round off the edges and do that. So I don't know how much I'm moving the camera while I do this, I'm sorry, but other one is to go diagonals across as long as you keep it flat. Some people might want to put the block down and put the head over. I find it's easier to move the block. Now I won't do it because I'm probably knocking you around all over the place completely, but so that's the smooth side on this. You can do the coarse if you've got to knock it down a bit. Probably shaking you around all over the place. I'll try and find a clean rag. So how I know when you get a bit more, you can see the even colour all over it where it's been making contact with all of the surface of the head. And also when you clean it off, you'll see the marks of the stone. When I started to do this one, I had a really big dark spot through here where it wasn't getting all the way down, and also through here as well. So using that stone side to side, I think if you there's another way I heard of, and Matt, a very experienced guy that helps us out, is has spoken about a piece of glass with sandpaper on it and then sliding the head on that, because the glass will stay dead straight. The main thing is whatever you use, it has to be dead straight. But that's just how I do it. I use that and I find I get a really nice smooth surface. And you can see when you cut it like that, you can see the low points. You basically go until you get rid of them all. So that's one of my little cheats on how to make sure the top of my head is nice and smooth and ready for the gasket. With the flat tops, we're using a very thin gasket, so if this was out, it would mean a leak of the head gasket. All right, that's one of them packed up, and I'll show you the next one. Okay, so this is my cheat number 2. So if you are doing a big bore build or something like that, you want to do some slight porting on the head. You want to open up the inlet side. The most common one is probably, you get a 26mm carby, so step up from the 22, 20 to 26. This is just an old one I got here. I was doing one before, and that's why I have a red thumb. Is I normally paint these red and put them on, and then that just gives me, so paint it, press it on, the paint will leave a mark of where this goes. But I'm finding that it's not as consistent or a sharp line, and if you want to get it spot on, you're really going to make it, you want to get it as best you can. Any step between this and this will interrupt the airflow and make the engine not as, you lose performance basically, and that's, if you're doing this sort of stuff, that's what you're after. So I've made this gasket here, okay? So just got a bit of paper, gasket paper, pen knife, and I've just cut around, and I've made a gasket for this. You can actually use these gaskets. I'll clean them up a little bit more. So what I'll do now is I'll get my little drill, which I use all the time, with this on it, and I'll just clean up this gasket and make sure it's 100% right for this. But the main thing is my holes line up. So when the holes are lined up, that this lines up. I'll double check this, that I get this right when the bolts are through. So stick a bolt through it just to double check, and then I'll clean that out, and then I'm going to put that on here and do the same thing with the paint. So I'll do that now. I'll open that up, I'll be back. Alrighty, so I've done that. I've got my little gasket on. I've made the gasket. I'm going to put that on. The other thing is to work out the orientation of how you want the inlet. Some, you might want it back like that, like a standard. I run mine out the front like that, especially with the bigger carbies, have more room if you put them out the front. It doesn't bother me having it out there, so I'll just make sure that I've got this orientated which that is right. So it sits like that. I want it out the front, so it's going to go like that. So I will put my little gasket there. I'll throw a couple of bolts in just to locate exactly where it's going to go. The other thing is they're not always dead center. You'll see this in a second. That's actually not spot on. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of rag in there before I spray it, just so I don't get a heap of paint down the inlet. Actually, I have one here. Again, sorry if I'm knocking you around too much. Okay, so that's in, but you can see that that's how that's going to sit. The holes are lined up there, but it's not lined up on there. It's off center, so by doing this, I'm going to get that exactly where it is. If I was just to open it up evenly, I would still have this step, and I wouldn't have it exactly where I wanted it. Okay, so hopefully there you have it. So there I have my mark where I want to take this out to port it out, so that when I put this on the gasket, we're nice and lined up, and we won't have any steps. So it's my little cheat, one of them, and the head, and that's just you know, you can go as far as you want with heads. If you want to do more work, if you want to do more porting, take the valves out, do all sorts of things, you can do that. That is just a basic start to it.